Thank you for being here. I hope you had a great weekend. Um, I had an amazing weekend, and I just want to tell you, I'm turning into the Turtle Whisperer. A couple weeks ago, I saved a tiny little turtle that was in my driveway. We live very close to a couple ponds, but they're like, I don't know, a block, 2 blocks away. Maybe half a block. I don't know how all that works. But it was walking along my driveway. And so I picked it up and put it in the pond. And that was a few weeks ago. This weekend, I was in a driveway and I'm getting ready. I was out at the pool all day. I was out in the sun all day. I'm getting ready to go inside and I see this thing lumbering down the road. And it's big enough that I notice it from down the street, but it's dark. And so I thought maybe it was like some piece of plastic or something. That seems weird. So I go and I look, and it's this giant turtle. I don't even know how big it is. It was gigantic, not like thick like a tortoise, but like very wide. And so I'm like, all right, well, this thing is clearly lost and needs to go back to the water because if it ends up in all these townhomes, it's never going to make its way back there. So I'm in my garage trying to find like a plastic tub to put it in. Meanwhile, there were kids outside that ended up finding it. And so I hear all this commotion, like, Mom, there's a turtle, there's a turtle. And so I come out there and they're like, are you going to save it? And I was like, well, I hope so. And by this time it had walked on the sidewalk and underneath a car. So now but it's like behind the wheel underneath this car. So I am trying to get it out. And the kids are screaming, is it a snapping turtle? Be careful, it's a snapping turtle. I'm like, it's not a snapping turtle. But what I found out is that turtles are very strong. So I'm trying to pull this thing out from underneath the car, and it is gripping onto the driveway with its claws, and I cannot move it. And it would like lunge forward to try to get away from me. And so the cutest little girl next door brings me a stick that's like it's smaller than this pencil, like this tiny little stick. And she said, here, mister, you might be able to get it out with this. Like she wanted me to jab it with this tiny little stick that probably would have just broken. And so now parents are starting to come out. And then they go to the home that is the owner of the car that the thing is under. And then I felt like Steve Irwin because I had all these people like around me and I had all these kids yelling. And I was like, well, I have to be the superhero of this turtle now. And so I literally, probably 15 minutes, I finally get this thing out from underneath the car and I pick it up and it proceeds to just pee all over me. And then by then I had lost like where I put the bucket thing that I was putting in. So I'm running around their yard trying to find this bucket, running around the car. I put it in the bucket and it just continues to pee and the bucket starts filling up with pee. And then everyone's like looking at it and I'm like, I need like it's splashing pee all over. And so I have to run it now like a block, 2 blocks down to the pond. And then I finally get it there. I mean, I'm like sweating. People are stopping me on the way to like people they're like, what is that? What's happening? Because it's making all this like scratching noises. And I get it to the pond, I tip it over, and I don't know. I mean, it was covered in pee, but I was like, it's a turtle. It's okay. And it doesn't move. And then it's like sitting there. And I think it was afraid. And then it like runs into the water. I was so proud. But then when I realized after that, it was one, I like fell asleep. I was like, how do rescue people do this? Like I did one, it took me 15 minutes and it was nothing that like was that exciting. And I was the adrenaline from it. But one of the things that one of the kids was saying was like, it's probably afraid of you because turtles don't like black. And I was like, well, that's random. But I was wearing a black shirt and black shorts. And I looked it up and apparently he was right. Who knew? I did not know that. So that's what I learned. And so that is the second turtle in like a month that I have saved. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I just feel like this is going to be the month that, or the summer that I do that. And when I was growing up, I actually used to have turtles like as pets and I loved them. And I had one, her name was Gertie. And I had her in a big fish tank, probably not big enough really, but as a kid, that's apparently what I did. And she would stick her head out when I would come to her and I would rub the back of her neck and she would like, it was so cute. I loved her. Okay, anyway, that's my turtle story. That was my weekend. It was very, very good. I spent it at the pool, got some sun. I used sunblock so I'm not burnt. And it was very relaxing. This is the 235th episode of Make Your Day Richer. We're coming up on 1 year of doing this. Can you imagine? I can, because I do it every day. And I'm glad that all of you continue to show up and watch this show. Let's see in the past 234 episodes how many views we've had. $357,505. Can you believe that? I can. And I thank everyone who watches the show, everyone who shares it, all the guests who come on, all the people who like and share and subscribe. It means so much. And if you'd like to continue to see episodes Monday through Friday, buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher. It's a great way to support the show so we can continue to bring these to you Monday through Friday after our 1 year. I'm just going to try this for a year and see what happens. So June 10th, big announcement. That's all I'm saying. Good or bad, we don't know yet, but it's up to you. So please buy us a coffee. All right. We have a good show. So I think we should start it, don't you? All right. My guest is a former professional investor who is now writing steamy contemporary romances, sex positive, body positive, and incredibly empowering. Mia Sivan's books are set in the financial world of Tel Aviv and draw from real financial scandals, creating compelling stories about real-life heroines. Mia is here to discuss her unique perspective on writing empowering romance and her journey from finance to fiction. Let's start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What does it feel like to, I mean, you went from the corporate world, you were an investor. What made you go, you know what, this is not for me and I need to be an author? Because I love that you did that.
Well, it's not like it didn't take me 30 years to decide that.
Uh-huh. Yes, of course.
And I can also tell you that it wasn't for financial reasons.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Because
that's weird.
it's not easy to make money out of books, as
Mhm.
every author you probably had on the show told you.
Yeah, yes, unless it's, Patterson or J.K.
But
Rowling. Yeah.
and they also took their time. I mean, it
Mhm.
takes time to build an author career, as any other career. Like, I didn't start earning big money when I just entered the finance world, right? I
Right.
apprenticed, I learned my craft. It takes time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh yeah, go.
no, go ahead.
Oh, well, you write romance novels, but I love that you say that you have a twist to them, which I agree with and I love. I used to work for a bookstore for about a decade. And so I love hearing authors talk about why they write what they write. So I'm curious, why romance? And
Okay.
what's the twist?
So romance is essentially a book that everyone knows is going to have a happily ever after, right? You don't know that with many other kinds of genres, you're not sure it's going to end like that. With
Mhm.
romance, you know. So, and I wanted that comfort. I wanted that to have that my readers are going into the book knowing, and also as a reader, I know that for me it's very comforting to know. Having said that, you can really torment your heroes through the book, right? Because everyone knows the good ending is there, so you can do pretty much whatever you want in the middle.
That's funny.
And
Did
you
you?
do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's because if it's a smooth ride, I'm not going to. It's not going to be very interesting.
Right. If it's just romance the entire time, not that fun, right?
If everyone is nice to each other, you're not going to read about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You have 3 books, right? You're up to
Yeah,
3 books. What I also love is that you use like real life heroines in your books. You're very sex positive, you're body positive. So I think a lot of people when they think romance novels think like the Harlequin romance where it's very, like
yeah,
yeah. So tell everybody about your books.
yeah. So my heroines are usually uh, older. They're in their mid-30s and upwards. And my latest book is about a 45-year-old divorcee with 2 children. Um, and my second book was about someone who was very good at their day job, but very uncomfortable with the way she looked because everyone always told her she was heavy. And my first book, though, my heroine really, she is beautiful. I mean, I just wanted a beautiful heroine for my first book.
Of course.
And so, we have this actress, Israeli actress. When you come to write a character, it's really easy to write her when you have her physical appearance in front of in your mind. So I decided Gal Gadot is going to be.
Wow.
Do you know Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
So she's here on my book. You see, that's the woman with the red dress. That's Gal Gadot, and she doesn't know it though.
I was going to ask, does she know it?
No, I wish.
She
No,
does now.
I just sent her picture to my illustrator and said, make it like her. And so of course, the physical appearance, the character, the profession, everything that happens is totally different than the real Gal Gadot, which I don't know.
Right. Have never met.
Never met.
No.
And so I wanted her to be very beautiful, very sure of herself. But so the journey she goes through is one of she thinks she doesn't need anyone, is one of, okay, yes, you do need people in your life, you do need relationships. And the twist that we were talking about before is, in all my books there is always a financial scam or a fraud, and my heroines are always the ones that investigate it and bring justice. So that's my.
Is that to like put a little piece of you in the book since you were
Yes.
in
Yes.
Yeah.
All the scams that happen in the books I actually experienced firsthand, and I actually knew the people that did them. In the first book, a very good friend of mine is like the model of the scammer.
Wow.
And the second book, also someone I worked with and really was really good friends with, is also he didn't even think he was coming. There were other. He thought he was okay, but he wasn't, because the world changed without him. You know what I mean? What used to be okay wasn't anymore. It happens even in finance. And the third book, she wasn't my friend, the lady who did it, but I met her, and it's about a startup, and I thought about investing in her startup. I didn't, but I thought about it.
Do the people who are in the book know that they're in the book, or their stories are in the book? You don't?
No, I never bothered to tell them.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's like Gal Gadot. But they're all, everything was in the papers. It's all public.
Yeah.
nothing is like the fact that I know them personally doesn't make I'm not giving away any secrets in my books.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because I love that it's like nonfiction and fiction and sort of fantasy and romance. Like you've got all of these things wrapped in your books. Is that how your mind works as well? Like when you go to write a book or figuring out how to write a book, like what the book is going to be about. How what is that process like? Because I feel like my brain could never work like that.
but I usually start from the scam, from the fraud that
Mm.
I want, and then I think of the heroine, and then I think of the conflict with the hero, and then I write the romance.
Were you a writer when you were a kid? Like, did you keep a journal? Like, what got you into to
Yes,
writing? Mm.
yes, I was. I always got very good grades in they used to read my papers aloud in class. Do you know this kind of
Uh-huh.
kids? But I never thought I would go and become an author because I needed to, pay for my own college. I needed to do stuff before. Because this is my second career, and I sort of earned it through finance.
How long have you made that switch from finance to author? How long has that been?
5 years.
Do you remember like the day that you were like you put in your notice or that you were like, nope, this is it? What was that like?
Well, um, it was hard for me because I was used to always earn my living. Even though I'm
Mhm.
married, I have kids, my husband earns, it doesn't matter. Financial independence was something that I was very, very obsessed with. I
Mhm.
needed to be able to look out for myself.
Yeah.
But, there was one too many financial crisis happens all the time. Uh, I don't remember the plural for crisis in English. Crisis, maybe?
Crises, I think.
Cr- I'm not
Crises instead of
sure.
crisis.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So there was one too many of them, and I had a coacher, and I said, "Listen, it is so hard for me already because you have I 2001 Nasdaq crumbled, and then we had the Intifada, and then we had 2008, and then 2011, and the amount of stuff you have to go through. I was like, I'm really tired,
Mm.
and she said, "Then just quit. You can quit already." Said, "Okay," and I just decided it from one minute to the other,
Wow.
and then I went to work, and everyone was so it came out of the blue for them.
Did you have a book written already, or you were like, nope, I'm going to start?
Actually, yes, but it wasn't good enough. I depublished it.
Uh,
I did have a book
Interesting.
ready. I, I,
Yeah.
I wrote it, but I thought it wasn't good enough, and I depublished it. I took it off.
Do you think you would like look back at that book again about republishing it? Because it's like a painting. Like to me, I'm like with paint, like artists, right? Like visual artists. Like when do you know when it's good, and when do you know when you're done?
I can tell, I
Yeah.
think. And what I did with it was a book of short stories, short erotic stories. I took one of them and made it like my leader magnet, which is what
Uh-huh.
you give people. And no, that's it. I didn't do anything with the other stories. Um, but I no, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Okay. How did that feel when you published the first book? It was out. It was not even just on Amazon. It's in Barnes. Like, how does that feel?
Wow, it's the best. But
Yeah.
I didn't have my print books until much later, like 2 years
Um,
later, I decided. But then, well, I mean, when you hold your book, like, you know, ah, So
It's like a new baby. Like, it smells so good. Yeah.
it's very satisfying to put out a book into the world. And because it takes me a long time, I mean, some of my friends do it more. I mean, they're more prolific. But because it takes me a long time, it's a very satisfying feeling.
Uh, who would you say are the readers of your books? Like, who should be reading your book?
I think women, not very young ones, even though I know some younger ladies do. Of my last book, there was this review said that if you're divorced, you should read this book. It's a feel-good book for divorced ladies. Um, so just women who like spicy stuff. Spicy, that means explicit scenes.
Uh-huh.
So it's on the
Okay.
page. If you like to read it, it's you're going to like my books.
You
And
said
if you like a
you
little bit to read about, other countries, like it all happens in Tel Aviv, where I live in Israel. It happens in the world of finance, sometimes very high finance, if it's interesting for you.
it also sounds like great movie scripts, which I'm sure you've heard before.
Some of them,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
No one
One
contacted
day.
me. Yeah.
One day. And I wonder who would star in that movie. Nobody knows. Who would
Oh,
it
yeah.
be?
Oh, wow. Let's think about it. Actually, all my books have movie stars on their covers.
Well, see, you've got it written for you. Yeah, you wrote it for yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
we
so
got it.
I
Yeah,
already cast everyone, so it's okay.
I love that. What do you love most about your life right now?
Oh, well, my life isn't very well. Look, it's Israel, okay?
Uh-huh.
Um, this is the complicated answer. What I love about my life right now is that everyone around me is safe.
Mm,
It sounds very basic, but it isn't so much.
yeah, yeah.
And I think in today's world, being safe and your loved ones are safe is also not so basic as we used to think.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. What is the best way that people can connect with you and follow you and support you?
Just Google me as Sivan and you'll get into my website. I have a great pen name. You do Mia Sivan, I'm
Yeah.
there.
Yes, you're the only one that
So
pops up probably.
miasivan.com and
Okay, good.
you'll get to my website.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.
You're so fun. I'm excited to have you back when the next book comes out and hear all about it.
I'll, with pleasure, and I can send you my ebooks if you want to read.
I'm not busy. I'll do it. Absolutely. Thank you. We're
Great.
gonna take a break and we'll be right back after this. Mia Sivan, everyone. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. All right, that's the show, everyone. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Now is a great time to just share the show right now and be like, oh my gosh, I need to get Mia's books, and you should listen to her. She's amazing. She's so funny. I loved having her. Great, great woman. We'll be back tomorrow with an all-new episode. So go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye.